Ronan and Shalen pressed their swords against each other. While heavily bleeding, Shalen commended Ronan for being a good rival. Shalen never expected that he would find someone who could rival him. He was very happy with the fact that he came to the academy. He told Ronan that coming to the academy was the best choice he ever made. While Shalen was enjoying the fight, he knew that he and Ronan were reaching their limits. With a smile on his face, Shalen told Ronan that it is time for them to end the fight. Ronan laughed when he heard this. He told Shalen that it will be good for them to end it. He told him that he will become attached to him if the fight goes on. Immediately he said this. The two boys used their swords to push each other back. Shalen took a stance and told our boy that he wants to end the fight without any regrets, as a huge amount of aura flowed out of him. Shalen asked Ronan to attack him with everything in his arsenal. Our boy gripped his sword and took a stance when he heard this. With a smile on his face, Ronan told Shalen that he is a certified lunatic. Our boy smiled as he stared at Shalen. He knew that he had to get Shalen to come to his side. While Ronan wanted Shalen to be with him, he still wanted to set an hierarchy between Shalen and himself. Ronan took an unusual stance and got ready to attack. He looked like he was about to run a race. The two stared at each other and waited for someone to make a move. Before Shalen could take a step forward, Ronan disappeared. Shalen was shocked to see this. Before he could react, our boy reappeared in front of him and attacked him. Shalen was barely able to block the attack. He turned around and looked at our boy, but he could not see anything. Shalen could not understand what he was seeing. He did not understand how Ronan became faster. Our boy moved around at a speed which the blue-haired monster could not sense. Shalen could not comprehend how Ronan was moving with his injuries. Shalen smiled when he understood his situation. He realized he could not keep up with Ronan's speed. Although Shalen could not keep up with our boy, he was certain that Ronan's body could not withstand such a high-level speed. Shalen knew that such a crazy power-up would take a huge toll on our boy's body. Shalen could not believe that Ronan would use such a technique even though he understood its risks. As Ronan rushed to attack Shalen took a new stance. He told Ronan that he has learnt something from him. With a smile on his face, the crazy monster asked Ronan to come at him. Immediately he said this. Shalen raised his sword and put it into the ground. The moment he did this, his sword began to release a large amount of energy. This energy got targeted at our boy. Ronan easily used his sword to cut Shalen's aura. Ronan was annoyed to see this. He could not believe that Shalen would actually use such a technique. The crazy monster understood that he could not keep up with our boy. He decided to scatter mana blades in front of himself. Thanks to Shalen's injuries, it is impossible for him to control his mana precisely. His own technique was also harming him. Shalen grit his teeth and took the pain head-on. Ronan could not believe that Shalen was taking such damages simply because he wanted to win. Unfortunately for the crazy monster, Ronan was also crazy about winning. Our boy tightly gripped his sword and rushed to attack Shalen. He planned to finish the fight. Ronan used his sword to slowly clear a path for himself. Our boy knew that both he and Shalen had reached their limit. He did not want their fight to have a boring conclusion, especially after they wasted so much time. Our boy decided to end the fight in one go. With a serious look on his face, Ronan rushed to attack Shalen. He swung his sword and hoped to end the fight with his attack. Before the sword could touch Shalen, the crazy monster told Ronan that he already knew he would come. He told our boy that he met his expectations. Immediately Shalen said this. He began to gather a large amount of energy around his sword. He told our boy that he will put his best into the attack. Shalen gathered his energy and released his storm sword technique. The moment he did this, a bright light shined and a huge tornado appeared. The tornado destroyed and reshaped the terrains. After the tornado cleared up, the whole area was covered in dust. A large hole formed on the land which Ronan and Shalen stood on. Inside the hole, we see Shalen using his sword to hold himself together. While our boy was in the air, we see that his body took a lot of damages. Ronan was annoyed to see that he fell for Shalen's trap. He could not believe that Shalen would use the full force of his aura. He believed that Shalen should have used the technique alone if he wanted to kill himself. Our boy never expected that the crazy monster would willingly hurt his own body to such an extent. Ronan completely understood why Shalen was crazy about swordsmanship. With a crazy smile on his face, Ronan says that he also made the best decision by coming to the academy. While his sword was releasing a red energy, our boy rushed to attack Shalen. He told Shalen that one of them must lose. The two boys held their swords tightly and rushed to attack each other. Back at the academy, the students were shocked to see what was happening on the island. They had never seen a fight that was on such a crazy scale. Ade-shan held her hand together in anticipation. She could not guess who would win the fight. With a smile on her face, Nabirose said that the fight is finally coming to an end. The scene shifts and we are taken back to the boys. The two boys screamed out as they got close to each other. Their sword clashed and released a huge amount of energy. This energy destroyed the surroundings more. When the dust from the destruction cleared up, we see Ronan and Shalen standing in front of each other. Shalen lost his energy and fell. He told Ronan that he has nothing left to give, as Shalen slowly fell. Our boy loses his stamina and lost control of his body. While falling, Ronan smiled and told Shalen that the state of his body is bad. He told Shalen that he won the fight based on the amount of injuries he gave him. Immediately Ronan said this, he fell to the ground and lost consciousness. The bodies of the two boys laid next to each other. The students who were watching the fight could not believe what they saw. They began to scream with excitement in their voices. After the battle of the two top students concluded, the midterm evaluation test came to an end. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want part 31 of this recap, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.